heat of vaporization of a pure solvent and for a solution are similar because intermolecular forces between solvent molecules must be overcome in both the cases. Now the next is entropy change between solution and vapor is smaller than entropy change in pure solvent and vapor. Now the next is entropy of solution is more than, because in solution the particles increased, so particle increase, randomness increase, entropy increases. The pure solvent, so the difference in entropy will be less in case of solution. Right? Now the graph of ideal solutions. So here are some questions. The question is, cyclohexane and ethanol in a particular mixture have vapor pressure of 376 mm when mole fraction of cyclohexane is 0.32. If vapor pressure of cyclohexane and ethanol are 280 mm and 168 mm respectively at the same temperature, mixture will be an ideal solution or not. So we have to find out the mixture will be ideal or not. So to find out the mixture is ideal or not, we have to go through that it follows the Raoult's law or not, right? So the total pressure is given. So it is given that P total of the solution is the pressure of 376 mm. So it is 376 mm. Right? Now to be ideal solution must follow, it must follow the Raoult's law. That is, P total is equal to P naught A XA plus P naught B XB, right? So it will be the P total. We have to calculate this P total from the given data and see whether this P total is equal to the given P total or not, right? That means the pressure calculated is equal to the given pressure or not. If this pressure calculated from the given data is equal to the given, then the solution will be ideal. Otherwise, the solution not be ideal. So here, this P naught is given. P naught A, cyclohexane and ethanol in a particular mixture have vapor pressure of 376 mm. This is the P total. When mole fraction of cyclohexane is 0.32. This is the mole fraction of cyclohexane. So this is the A compound is cyclohexane and B compound is, this is the mole fraction 0.32 given. So XA is given 0.32. Now evaporation of cyclohexane and ethanol are 280 mm and 160 mm respectively. That means PA is given 280 mm and PB is given 168. So now XB is not given, so XB will be 1 minus XA, because XA plus XB is equal to 1. So that means 1 minus 0.32, right? So let's calculate the P total from the given data. So the P total will be P naught A XA. So P naught A, it is not the pure, when the cyclohexane and ethanol are in pure form. So it is P naught A, P naught B. So P total will be 280 multiply 0.32 plus, it is for the cyclohexane and it is for cyclohexane and the 168 multiply 1 minus 0.32, it is for the ethanol, right? It is for the B is ethanol. Clear? Now if you are going to calculate, this will come 203.84 millimeter. So that means this P total calculated is not equal to the P total given 376 about the solution. So that means this solution not follow the Raoult law. So that is calculated P total, pressure total is not equal to the given data, given P total. So it not follows the Raoult's law, because according to Raoult's law, the solution must follow the Raoult's law over the entire range of concentrations, right? So now this is the first one. Now the second, if the freezing point of a 0.01 molar aqueous solution of a cobalt third chloride ammonia complex, that means a coordination complex is there, which behaves as a strong electrolyte, is minus 0.0558 degrees centigrade. The number of chlorides in the coordination sphere of complex Kf of water is given 1.86, right? So here to see how many chloride ions are in the coordination sphere, we have to find out the I factor, because if we get the ions dissociated this complex, then we will get the ionic sphere number of chloride ions, right? So here delta TF is given I KFM. We know this delta TF is depression in freezing point is equal to I KFM, where I is the Van't factor, Kf is the cryoscopic constant and M is the molarity. So here, so the I will be delta TF upon KFM. So we have to see whether what is delta TF here. So delta TF is equal to 0 minus, the freezing point is given, that is minus 0.0558. So it will be equal to 0.0558, right? Now the KF, Kf is given 1.86. Now the M, molarity is given, that is 0.01 molar aqueous solution. So molarity is 0.01. Right. Now calculate the I from here. So I is equal to delta TF 0.0558 upon Kf 1.86 multiply molarity 0.01. So if you are going to calculate 3, so that means 3 ions in the solution present. That means coordination compounds dissociated into 2 kinds of ions, coordination sphere and ionic sphere. Ionic sphere fully ionized, that is the ions, but coordination is not further ionizes. So one must be the coordination sphere and 2 must be the ionic sphere. So 2 ions in ionic sphere, 1 ions in coordination sphere. That means that is 2 ions of ionic sphere and 1 ion coordination sphere. Right. So let's write the formula. So the complex will be, here is the cobalt, here is the oxidation state 3. Okay. Now the chloride, ammonia is a ligand there, so that means ammonia is a ligand there. Right. Now here comes the chloride ion in coordination sphere. We are going to find out this. Now here is the chloride ions. Number of chloride ions will be 2 ions. So 2 Cl will be there. That means Cl2. Right. Now how many chlorine must be there here to get this cobalt in 3 oxidation state plus 3 oxidation state? This is the neutral ligand. This is a neutral ligand. And chlorine gets the -1. Cl is equal to -1 oxidation state, right? So to get cobalt plus 3 oxidation state, 1 chloride ion must be there in the coordination sphere, right? So here must be 1 Cl. After that, this will get the +3. Otherwise, if not there, then it will get the +2. Right? So this is the compound of the given question.